Hello. I'm just tickled to death that you clicked on my channel today. I'm in Seward Park in lower Manhattan. Seward, of course, is named after John Seward. We call him Johnny Seward around here. He was the inventor of the sewage system. So before Seward's time, there were outhouses, and in many of these apartment buildings in New York, people didn't bother to walk down the 5 stories and just basically tossed it out the window. So this went on until the middle of the 1980s when Johnny Seward said, hey, we could put the poop in the pipes. So that's how he invented the Seward system. And we just call it now, after all these years, 40 years later, we just call it the sewer. So I'm going to talk about a book, a novel. It's called The Bad Seed. I read this book because I sort of started thinking about it when I was reading Lionel Shriver's We Need to Talk About Kevin. And I thought, hey, that's, another kind of killer kid. Maybe, sort of modeled on The Bad Seed. And so I thought, well, I'd seen the movie The Bad Seed, years ago, maybe once or twice. But it'd been a while. And, I liked the movie. It's made in, 1955, 56, around there. So I thought, well, I should read the novel. So I went to my little library page. I said, get me, I demand, Bad Seed. This is Steve Carter, tickled to death, the major YouTube book reviewer who has more than 200 subscribers at least. So please get me The Bad Seed as soon as possible. My viewers are waiting to see. Speaking of my viewers and fans, see what it's come to? I have to work in a fenced-in area now because of so many people who recognize me that I can't make a video anymore without being mobbed and surrounded. So, be that as it may, I have read The Bad Seed. The Bad Seed is 200 pages long, so it was a rather rapid read. It was written in 1954 by William March, or came out in 1954, and he promptly died soon after that, which became a big hit and sold a lot of copies, which he never got, unfortunately. I think it was his only real hit book, this guy. So what we have here with The Bad Seed is, of course, a kid who is a murderer, and that's not giving anything away. I'm probably going to be spoiling in this video if I talk about it very long, other than saying, that's how I feel about it. It was like, it wasn't that good. It was not nearly as good as We Need to Talk About Kevin, which is a lot better. So. But this one, I don't know. Certain things about it I just didn't buy. Like there's this character, Leroy, who's sort of a pole guy. It's all rich people. Rich people live in apartment buildings somewhere. I don't know where they were supposed to be. But in America. But they live in this apartment building, and the situation is Christine has this daughter, Rhonda. Rhonda is the perp. Christine is the mommy. Christine and Rhonda are by themselves, living by themselves because Daddy works for a steamship company, and actually they used to live in Baltimore, but they had to move because, well, there was certain things about Rhonda even then. She's only 8 when this is going on, so like when she was like 6, already the school didn't want her and there was an incident with a neighbor lady who kind of fell out the window. So yeah, we get to hear about all that. But so the dad, whose name I don't remember, John or something, Johnny, another Johnny. He works for a steamship company, so he's part of the American big system of whatever. He works for a steamship company, and he's stationed in South America doing steamship stuff. So he's out of the picture. He's gone. So Christine is on her own with this kid, and she's very nice and very polite, very tidy with her room. She's very, very good looking. She's learned to curtsy, and she has this thing where she goes, "What if I give you a basket of kisses? What would you give me?" And of course the response is a bushel of hugs or something. So she reverts to that when she's feeling pressed upon for her behavior that ends up being negative. And so what's going on is she has not won the contest at school for penmanship or whatever it's called, writing with cursive. There's a contest, and how much people have improved over some sort of interim period. And she thinks she's going to win it, and she's practicing. Very good student, even good in her Bible study class. But, she doesn't win the thing. A young boy named Claude, who's kind of, quiet boy, he wins it. So there's this big thing with Claude and Rhonda, and that ends up being the main crime that occurs in the book. And, getting up to that and all that, that was kind of good and kind of interesting. And I don't know, that happens pretty early. Maybe a quarter of the way through is when she dispatches Claude and all that. And then from then on, it's not written in first person, it's written in third person, but it is basically all about the struggles of Christine, the mommy here. So, and who she consults, and so the girl, there's this other character called Leroy. Leroy's sort of the janitor handyman in the apartment building. And Leroy's Pole. He's from the Pole side of town. And he is it's kind of a rascal in a way. He kind of resents the rich people and the rich kids. And he kind of has it in for Rhonda. So he keeps teasing Rhonda as though he knows about. So he's kind of presented as a little bit of a dullard intellectually, but yet he kind of guesses while he's teasing Rhonda what has actually occurred in the, down to too much detail. So I thought that was a little bit incredible. Ultimately, we get into a nature-nurture sort of argument, and it comes down to be hereditary. So and we reveal this big story about family background and all that. That's a little tedious, that comes to Christine through this crime writer friend of her, another friend of hers, who she starts hanging out with. This crime writer gives her a bunch of documents about crimes that have to do with women, criminals, and through that she comes upon this case years ago, and that reveals the whole back plot of the story. And anyway, I didn't love the novel. I thought a lot of the stuff was just a little bit too much. I read a review on Goodreads. When I read something I don't like it that much, sometimes I go to Goodreads and read the other twos and ones and stars. And this one, it was like, William March, thought of the book as a pot boiler. I don't know what exactly a pot boiler means. Probably not really a serious novel, just something to, some sort of intriguing story to keep you reading. But so yeah, it was a pot boiler. It was probably pretty shocking back in 1954, which was 70 years ago now. So that's the story with the Bad Seed. Didn't love the Bad Seed, and I don't particularly recommend it, but if you want to read it, I'm not here to stop you. I'm not going to come to your town and take the book out of your hand and say, don't read that, read something else. I don't really care what people read. I don't even care if they read. You can just watch the movie of The Bad Seed and figure you have the story. I thought, well, maybe I should watch the movie again, and then I could review the movie as opposed to the book, but then I didn't feel like watching the movie last night, so I watched, what did I watch? I watched something else instead. I didn't watch Joe Biden talk, I watched, what did I watch? Oh, I watched the thing with Nicole Kidman, 6 people that go to some sort of a retreat together, and Nicole Kidman is the lady who's running the whole thing. But anyway, The Bad Seed. Talk to you later.